Alright, I'm going to give you guys what I personally believe is the most effective and single tip to maintain a normal life while also being someone that is a TI, also known as someone that is gang stalked. If that is you, and this is only from my experience, but I've heard that obviously we all have a very similar experience with it, as it is the same production of nonsense. So what I noticed is, and many of you probably will too, or do already, but will relate to this, is that everything is more of a distraction than anything. Like if you're driving a car, or you're a delivery driver or something in your car a lot, you'll notice things like out of the ordinary that you find yourself drifting off into and giving your attention to. And that causes problems while you're driving, right? Because like you'll be like, whoa, what is going on there? Like, who's that hot chick? Like literally hot chicks, like everything. Old ladies just waving their hands, like anything that's gonna get you to just find interest in a movement or a scene of sorts is something, one of the biggest things I have dealt with. And it's really hard to be present enough to remember, to stay in the moment you're in and focus on what you're doing and not be distracted. But this is kind of how I have pulled myself out of that state and been able to actually be present. And it would be, if you find yourself for longer than 4 seconds giving your attention to something, like if you're distracted for longer than 4 seconds and you can begin to feel the prolonged distraction you're giving, kind of like just autopiloted onto something, not even really thinking about it, but just like in a daze almost. It's like you just don't even really notice yourself doing it. But if you can kind of get present and start to like, oh wow, it's been about 4 seconds. Okay, I need to get back to what I'm doing. And this is one of the biggest things that's helped me personally, because it used to be like, what is that? Like I didn't realize what was happening. It was like thousands upon thousands of distractions on any which drive I'd be on, and they would, either cause me to be getting close to being in an accident, or missing a turn, or running a red light, or running a stop sign, like embarrassing things, right? All of the things that you don't want to have happen while driving have happened from these distractions. Also, anything that steals your attention that you don't ask for and you wouldn't necessarily want is not good for you. And therefore you should realize this and understand that there's something you can do about it, which is to be present and maintain your being in the now with your mind and your attention, because the attention is really everything. And that's a massive part of what gang stalking is to pull your attention, to own your attention, and to almost possess you in a way, by stealing your attention, because your attention is everything. What you put your attention on is really another way of saying focus, another way of really manifestation of sorts. And so that would be, if that kind of makes sense. I don't know if that, I should have said manifestation, but it is kind of how it works. Like you don't want to be giving away your thought. You don't want to be giving away your energy, your focus. Your focus is valuable. Your focus is yours. Your focus is locked in a box for you to choose where you want to give it. And so when you find yourself drifting off, that's somebody finding a way to steal that from you, and you need to be mindful of that. And so that 4 second type of thing, at least for my experience, makes a huge difference. And I remain, like, I'll have to do it maybe 20 times driving, right? But at least I'm coming back to the present moment and not getting lost in the interesting / perfectly created distraction. And I can remain doing what I'm supposed to be doing and move on with my life and continue improving. So that would be my kind of tip on that. Like that's this one really I thought would be the most helpful thing right now to kind of put on YouTube, and just like one simple thing like this, would have helped me a lot if I had understood it earlier. But you have to learn. So if I can help you skip that step and just kind of see this as a way of dealing with it, that'd be great. Let's see if I want to add anything else into this. Yeah, I mean, the other thing I would want to add is the other massive part of this entire experience is what you are inside, despite everything around you, is so important, right? So believe it or not, and this is going to maybe shake some tails or whatever you want to call it, ruffle some feathers or whatever, but every single human being, okay, and this is my opinion, every single human being, I don't care about the circumstances, I don't care about the many reasons why it's not the case to you. I cannot see it any other way once I have understood what I understand. And I'm not going to get into that part, but a lot of you probably will understand. But every single human being deserves your love. Even the people that you see and perceive and do your best to not create into harassing you and doing all these things, all of these people deserve your love. And the reason for that is many things, but the one massive part would be because nobody learns, believe it or not, and this is again going to ruffle feathers to some of your psyches, but nobody learns from the same thing in which you don't want to happen to you. So when you're screaming at the people back, flipping them off, like, you're doing the same thing really in a way that they're doing to you. And don't you see, like, that's a never ending, never progressing relationship there. Like, whether or not, whatever you believe these people are, or anything of or whatever the case may be, the way is not that. Not only does that hurt yourself because you're dealing with and expressing anger and frustrating yourself and giving into and being smaller than what you should, but it's just not even going to work to help them or deter them. Believe it or not, if anything was ever going to deter these people away from doing what they're doing in your perception, it would be to give them and show them love because they do not expect it, and they do not believe you are capable of it because of what they're doing to you. They don't know love exists in a form so great. So when you can show up like that, you are an example of something they don't even know. Because why is that the case? Because if they knew that love, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. Correct? That's how that works. Like, when you know love, when you know, like, what is the fucking real universal technique of living, it would be love. And that's a weird way to describe it, but you get the point, right? Like, when you know that, when you're happy in that, and you believe in that, and you have that relationship with the universe, and you understand that, and you have that awareness, you would not be doing those things. So understand that if you do have that awareness, if you do understand that, and you do have maybe a spiritual relationship, or with the universe, or with God, or whatever the case may be, or you're just a spiritual person, understand that you, if truly on that path, cannot see it in some other light that you need to fight back. There's nothing to fight back to. You're not going to win that way. The real thing would be to make yourself as great as you can, right? Despite it all, and love the people that are most difficult to love. They don't know love. You would be teaching them love, and the world would be changing, and you'd be saving lives. Consider this and why I'm saying it, how it works. It's against everything we know, really. It's like everything we've ever heard is like, no, you're fucking, yeah, you put them in there, fuck them up. Like, I get it, you guys, and I want to do that too. And we're, humans are so inherently bloody warriors at heart that, like, I understand that want to just, like, obliterate what is hurting you. But because of this difficult to perceive accurately plane of existence we live on, the most effective thing you can do is improve your own mental state and realize that nothing should be swaying you away from what you know is right, which is to probably not be angry, probably not be violent, or even fighting back at something like this, because it's not the way. Consider it. That's all I ask, is that you consider it and see that I'm not saying this because I'm a fucking fluffy flower puff hippie boy and I want you to start being like that too. No, it's not like that, right? Like, I'm saying this is something. I'm not, some fucking guru or anything, but it's not only is this been something I've understood 100% since I was a young kid. I've known it, and I would say it to people, and I would always proclaim it because I knew it. Not only did that happen as a kid, but as I went through life, I didn't necessarily follow that because I only knew what I had seen around me, and while I had always felt that way, I didn't know how to give it to people because all the other people do and tell you to do is to fight back and to fucking let's go, right? All of the opposite of that. But as I got older and as I've experienced the miracles I have in the life that I've had in the gangstalking and all that comes with it in the end of my own experience of it, that rings more true than anything else at all. Like, that was something, that single thing right there has given me more peace and freedom, true peace and freedom. And I am not one responsible dude that, like, oh yeah, I'm always been free. Like, dude, I have struggled with so much shit. My life, I've burnt every bridge, I've fucked my life, and I have peace from that one single action of loving these people that do not deserve it from the viewpoint of our 3D plane human existence in society. All I ask is that you consider it, try it, tell me what you think. Really appreciate your guys' comments. Like, that's shit, I love it more than anything. And I will probably reply to every single comment because I'm that type of person. I'll give it all my energy. I will give you all of my focus. There's no comment that's stupid or dumb to me unless, of course, it's stupid or dumb and therefore needs not to be even said, right? Like, whatever. I won't reply to something ridiculous. But you get my point? I appreciate the comments. It doesn't have to be with exactly what I'm saying at all. I want you to go against what I'm saying because it helps us all learn. Give me new perspectives, and anything that does ring true for you, encourage us all forward with it. Thank you for listening if you did, and I love you guys, for real. I've not been capable of doing that my whole life. Like, I've always wondered, how can people love so many people at once? I can barely love myself. And I'm starting to be able to do that, even though people hate me. Some people hate me. Some of my own family hates me because I've made stupid decisions, right? But, like, at the end of the day, I'm much happier and growing at a rapid pace. And I have love for every single being that I come across. I don't care how gross they show up to be. When I see light in someone, despite what maybe I want to see, I know that I can only see, honestly, what it is that I am. And the more that you are light yourself and doing good things and understanding good things and having awareness that is wholly of truth, the law of the universe is that you will begin to experience more of that, because that is who you are, and what we are is what we begin to perceive. And that kind of gets complex between this subject of gang stalking and that, but it is true in the end, and it should be noted. Hope that makes sense. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you for listening. Best of luck to you guys. Don't give up. There's no reason to give up. Like, everything's gonna be all right. Promise. There's nothing to fear. There's no doubt in my mind for every single one of you. If you just open yourself up to how good the world is in a really divine way, it's all for the good of you. I promise. In the end, I promise. I will promise you that, even though you don't think I can. I'm gonna do it anyway. That's how much I know that to be true, personally. Good luck. Talk to you guys soon. I'll upload again soon.